If you are over 60 and you have noticed your legs feel weaker, heavier, or sore, it's time to pay close attention. Maybe you have started feeling tired just standing for a while. Walking across the room feels like a chore, or stairs now seem more like a mountain than a few steps. If any of this is familiar, what I'm about to reveal could be the missing piece you have been looking for. It might shock you to learn that the very vitamins you've been taking to stay healthy could be theons undermining your strength. Yes, I'm talking about vitamins that are often recommended in health circles and even prescribed by doctors. They're hiding in plain sight in the supplemental at your local pharmacy, in your daily multivitamin, and even in some fortified foods you eat every day. These two vitamins, when taken in excess or without proper monitoring, can silently erode the strength of your legs. They weaken your muscles, strain your joints, and leave your lower body feeling unstable and fatigued. The most alarming part, they're likely already part of your daily routine. Every pill you swallow or fortified juice you sip could be contributing to your leg problems, and it is not just about the vitamins themselves. This issue goes deeper into the foods we eat, the habits we've normalized, and the information we often take at face value. That's why this video is more than a warning, it is a complete health guide. Not only will you learn which vitamins to avoid or limit, but you'll also discover the everyday foods that rob your legs of strength, the underlying causes of inflammation, and the steps you can take today to regain your mobility, vitality, and independence. So if your goal is to maintain strong legs, stay active, and grow older without giving up your freedom, keep watching. By the end of this, you'll be empowered with knowledge that can protect you for years to come. 15. Sugary sweets and desserts. Let's begin with one of the most deceptive culprits: sugary treats. They may be comforting, but after 60, they're a quiet enemy to your leg health. Consuming refined sugar triggers inflammation in the body. This isn't the kind of inflammation that comes and goes after a workout. It's chronic and damaging, especially to your muscle and joints. When your muscles are inflamed, they become tender and less capable of supporting your movements. Add in stiff, achy joints, and suddenly walking or standing becomes uncomfortable. But it does not stop there. Sugar consumption is directly tied to insulin resistance, which affects how your muscles absorb and use energy. Muscles that don't get enough energy weaken over time. They become less efficient and more fatigued, even during simple activities, like walking across the room. Another major factor: weight gain. As you eat more sugar, your body tends to store more fat, especially around the abdomen. Every extra pound adds pressure to your legs, making them work harder with each step. This extra strain wears down your muscles and joints more quickly. And did you know that sugar also interferes with blood flow? High sugar intake can damage blood vessels, reducing circulation to your legs. Less circulation means less oxygen, and fewer nutrients reach your muscles. Poor circulation slows tissue recovery and leads to a constant feeling of heaviness or tiredness in the legs. To make matters worse, most desserts offer zero nutritional value. They lack the protein and essential minerals your muscles need to stay strong. They're basically empty calories that take more than they give. You might think a slice of cake or a cookie is harmless, but over time, these indulgences add up. They contribute to the loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, which is one of the leading causes of loss of independence in older adults. And if you're eating store-bought desserts, you're also consuming chemical additives, preservatives, food dyes, and artificial flavors. These additives can worsen inflammation and throw your body's systems off balance, further weakening your muscles, But the good news is you don't have to give up sweets entirely. Instead, swap them out for healthier alternatives. Try fresh fruit topped with cinnamon, or make homemade treats using natural sweeteners like honey or dates in small amounts. Your body and your legs will thank you for it. 14. Fried foods. It's hard to resist crispy fries or golden nuggets, but fried foods are a disaster for your leg health, especially after age 60. These foods are loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, both of which fuel inflammation through to the body. This inflammation directly impacts your muscles, making them feel sore, stiff, and slow to recover. It also worsens joint pain, particularly in the knees and ankles. Fried foods clog arteries and restrict blood flow, which limits how much oxygen and nutrients your leg muscles receive. Poor circulation leads to muscle deterioration, sluggish movement, and longer recovery times after even minor physical exertion. You may have noticed feeling heavier or more tired in your legs after a greasy meal. That's not your imagination, it's your body reacting to the toxic burden of harmful fats. There's also a weight factor again. Fried foods are calorie-dense and nutrient-poor. They promote weight gain, which adds stress to your leg muscles and joints. More weight equals more pain equals more inflammation. Moreover, fried foods offer almost no beneficial nutrients. They lack the protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals needed for muscle maintenance. When these foods make up a large portion of your body enters a state of imbalance. You begin to lose muscle mass while accumulating fat, a dangerous combination for aging legs. Instead of fried food, try grilling, baking, steaming, or air frying your meals. These methods preserve the taste without compromising your health. You can still enjoy the crispiness and flavor you love, just in a way that supports your body rather than breaks it down. 13. White bread. It may seem harmless, even comforting, but white bread can be a sneaky contributor to leg weakness as you age. Most white bread is made from refined flour, which means all the natural fiber, minerals, and essential nutrients have been stripped away. What you're left with is a soft, fluffy food that your body quickly turns into sugar. These fast-digesting carbs spike your blood sugar, then send it crashing down. And your muscles, especially those in your legs, feel the impact of this roller coaster. Low fiber content means slower digestion and reduced blood sugar control. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, a condition that limits your muscles' ability to absorb glucose, which is the fuel they need for strength and endurance. When your muscles don't get the energy they need, they begin to weaken and shrink. This becomes especially problematic after 60, when muscle mass naturally declines unless active elemented. In this case, white bread isn't just a bland part of your diet, it becomes a daily dose of trouble for your legs. To make things worse, white bread is also low in protein and important minerals, such as magnesium and potassium, both vital for muscle function. Without these nutrients, your leg muscles become more prone to cramps, fatigue, and soreness. And then there's the issue of weight gain. White bread is often paired with butter, jam, cheese, or meats, turning a simple sandwich into a calorie bomb. Excess calories not only increase body fat, but they also stress your joints and leg muscles by adding pressure to your lower body. It may not look like much, but repeated consumption of white bread adds up. Bite by bite, you're eating your way into more stiffness, less mobility, and reduced leg strength. The good news? You don't have to give up bread. Swap white bread for whole grain, oat, flax, or rye breads, especially those that are naturally fermented or made without added sugar. Pair these with protein-rich toppings like eggs or avocado for a balanced, muscle-friendly meal. 12. Alcohol may be socially acceptable and even relaxing, but regular alcohol consumption becomes increasingly harmful after 60, especially when it comes to your muscles and legs. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at metabolizing alcohol. This means the same drink that barely affected you in your 40s can now cause longer-lasting damage in your 60s. One of the first areas to suffer: your muscles. Alcohol interferes with the absorption of key nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin. These are essential for keeping your muscles and bones strong. When your body lacks them, your legs become weaker and your bones grow more fragile, increasing your risk of falls and fractures. It doesn't stop there. Alcohol also slows muscle recovery, especially after activity or exercise. So, instead of your muscles repairing and rebuilding, they remain in a state of fatigue and inflammation. You may also experience muscle cramps and tightness, especially at night. That's because the alcohol dehydrates your body and strips it of electrolytes, making your leg muscles less flexible and more prone to painful spasms. Let's not forget the impact on your liver, the body's detoxification center, and a key player in producing energy for muscle function. Alcohol burdens the liver, reducing its ability to support healthy muscles. Over time, this strain causes chronic fatigue and reduced strength. Drinking alcohol even in small amounts can also contribute to weight gain, especially in the abdomen. The extra fat stresses your joints and increases the load your legs have to carry. Combine that with declining muscle mass, and you have a recipe for immobility. Think about how you feel after a night of drinking. Do you wake up sore, exhausted, or stiff? That's your body signaling that it's struggling to repair itself. Finally, regular alcohol intake promotes chronic inflammation. This silent enemy worsens pain, stiffness, and contributes to loss of muscle control. As inflammation spreads through your joints and tissues, your desire to move shrinks, creating a cycle that accelerates physical decline. If leg strength and long-term independence matter to you, reconsider your alcohol habits. Even cutting back a few days a week can significantly improve muscle function, energy levels, and recovery. 11. Processed meats. They're quick, easy, and tasty, but processed meats like bacon, sausage, ham, and deli meats pose serious threats to your leg health, especially as you get older. These products are loaded with sodium, nitrates, and chemical preservatives, which promote a chronic inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation often concentrates in your joints and leg muscles, leading to morning stiffness, soreness, and that heavy leg feeling you might be experiencing. The problem is compounded by their saturated fat content, which interferes with circulation. Poor blood flow means your muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, delaying recovery and weakening them over time. If you've ever felt unusually tired or sore after a breakfast of bacon and eggs, it's not in your head, it's your body reacting to the toxic load from these meats. Processed meats also impair glucose metabolism. This means your leg muscles may not be able to use energy efficiently, resulting in fatigue, weakness, and instability, especially noticeable in walking or standing for long periods. As we age, we lose muscle mass naturally, but when we fuel our bodies with low nutrient, toxin-heavy foods like processed meats, the decline becomes faster and more dramatic. Eventually, even daily activities like climbing stairs or carrying groceries can become a cleaning. There's also the liver and kidney strain caused by these processed meats. These organs are responsible for filtering out toxins, but with repeated exposure to preservatives and additives, they become overworked. When liver and kidney function decline, muscle energy and performance suffer, especially in the legs. Even worse, these meats often replace healthier options in the diet. When a sausage patty takes the place of lean chicken or beans, your body misses out on the high-quality protein it needs to repair and maintain strong muscles. The fix? Switch to cleaner sources of protein. Replace sausage with cooked eggs, use shredded chicken instead of ham, and consider lean meats like turkey or grass-fed beef. You can still enjoy flavorful meals just without the price of inflammation, weakness, and fatigue. 10. Instant noodles. They're fast, cheap, and incredibly easy to prepare, but instant noodles can have long-lasting consequences for your legs and overall health as you age. The core problem with instant noodles lies in their nutritional emptiness. They are primarily made from refined white flour, which is stripped of fiber and essential nutrients. This means they rapidly spike your blood sugar levels only to leave you crashing shortly afterward. These fluctuations drain energy from your muscles and contribute to fatigue, especially in the legs. On top of that, instant noodles are extremely high in sodium. A single packet can provide more than half your daily recommended salt intake, and that's without adding anything else. High sodium levels cause fluid retention, which leads to swollen legs, a feeling of heaviness, and joint stiffness. This swelling restricts mobility and creates discomfort during walking or standing. Excess sodium also raises blood pressure, putting additional stress on your heart and vascular system. When your blood doesn't circulate well, your leg muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients, making them slower to heal, weaker, and more prone to injury. Let's not forget the chemical additives that come with the flavor packets in instant noodles. These often include monosodium glutamate (MSG), artificial colors, and preservatives. These chemicals have been linked to chronic inflammation, which affects your muscles and joints directly. Inflammation can make your legs ache even when you haven't done any strenuous activity. Add all of this together, and you're left with a meal that robs your legs of energy, impairs recovery, and accelerates muscle loss. Instant noodles may be convenient, but they're a poor fuel source, especially in a stage of life where muscle preservation is critical for maintaining endurance. If you enjoy noodle dishes, don't worry. You don't have to give them up entirely. Look for healthier alternatives like whole grain, brown rice, or buckwheat noodles. Prepare them with fresh vegetables, lean protein, and herbs instead of using pre-packaged flavorings. These changes might seem small, but they add up to a major difference in how your legs feel and function. Industrially made cakes, they look delightful and taste like nostalgia, but store-bought cakes are one of the worst offenders when it comes to leg strength loss after 60. These products are packed with refined sugar, trans fats, and artificial preservatives. A triad that wreaks havoc on your metabolic health. The high sugar content causes rapid blood sugar spikes, leading to inflammation, fatigue, and muscle weariness. Over time, these blood sugar fluctuations damage your blood vessels, impairing the delivery of nutrients to your muscles, especially in the lower body. Trans fats are used to extend shelf life and improve flavor, but they have devastating effects on cholesterol levels and blood circulation. They lower good cholesterol, raise bad cholesterol, and contribute to clogged arteries. Poor circulation means your legs don't get enough oxygen, making them feel weak, sore, or numb. In some cases, it leads to a burning or tingling sensation in the feet or calves. You might notice these symptoms after indulging in cake at a birthday party or a holiday gathering. That's not just a sugar crash, it's your circulatory system struggling to deliver fuel to your muscles. These cakes also often contain emulsifiers, stabilizers, and synthetic dyes, which can upset your immune system and increase systemic inflammation. When this happens, the joints, especially those in the knees, ankles, and hips, begin to ache. The result is stiffness, reduced range of motion, and a gradual decline in strength and balance. And let's be honest, industrial cakes are calorically dense but nutritionally empty. They offer almost no protein, fiber, or vital minerals. Instead, they fill your body with empty calories that can lead to muscle loss, weight gain, and even diabetes. That extra weight further burdens your legs and joints, leading to discomfort. With simply activities like climbing stairs, walking to the mailbox, or standing for longer than a few minutes. But here's the silver lining. You don't have to give up cake completely. You can bake your own using whole grain flours, natural sweeteners like honey or banana, and healthy fats such as olive oil or avocado oil. Add chopped nuts, seeds, or fruits for added nutrients and flavor. You can still enjoy sweet moments without paying the price of weakened legs. 8. Ultra-processed cheese. They melt easily, spread smoothly, and taste delicious, but processed cheeses like slices, spreads, and blocks are no friend to your legs, especially after age 60. These highly industrialized products are full of sodium, saturated fats, and chemical preservative. Sodium leads to fluid retention and elevated blood pressure, both of which contribute to swollen, heavy, and painful legs. Saturated fats impair blood vessel flexibility, which hinders proper circulation to the lower body. Processed cheeses also often contain phosphates and emulsifiers, which disrupt mineral balance, particularly calcium and magnesium levels. These two minerals are vital for muscular contraction, nerve signaling, and bone strength. Without them, your leg muscles become more prone to fatigue, cramping, and even nighttime spasms. If you've ever had a meal rich in cheese and later felt your legs cramp during the night or while walking, this imbalance might be the cause. Additionally, unlike aged or natural cheeses, ultra-processed varieties have lower protein content. Your body needs high-quality protein to maintain muscle mass. Without it, your legs gradually become weaker and less stable, putting you at higher risk for falls and mobility limitations. Processed cheese is also high in calories, yet low in usable nutrition. This combination promotes weight gain while starving your body of the fuel it needs. The excess weight then burdens your knees, hips, and ankles, causing additional wear and pain. If processed cheese is a staple in your meals, on your sandwich, your eggs, or your snacks, it's time to rethink your choices. Replace it with cottage cheese, ricotta, or even small portions of phage cheeses like cheddar or parmesan, which retain more protein and fewer additives. Also, remember that food choices impact more than just flavor. Over time, poor eating habits subtly chip away at your mobility, freedom, and independence. One small substitution at a time can lead to stronger legs and a longer-lasting quality of life. 7. Industrial ice cream. It's cold, creamy, and nostalgic, but industrial ice cream, the kind commonly found in grocer freezers, may be silently contributing to your leg weakness and loss of mobility. Why? Because commercial ice creams are loaded with refined sugars, saturated fats, and artificial ingredients, a trio that causes chaos in your muscles and joints. Let's start with the sugar. When you consume large amounts of refined sugar, your blood sugar spikes, followed by a rapid crash. These swings rob your muscles of stable energy, leaving your legs feeling heavy, tired, or even shaky. Over time, this instability contributes to muscular deterioration, poor coordination, and fatigue. Then comes the saturated fat commonly added to enhance creaminess. This fat clogs arteries and impairs blood circulation, especially to your extremities. If you've experienced numbness, tingling, or cramps in your legs after eating heavy or rich desserts, this could be why. Ice cream also contributes to chronic inflammation, one of the top enemies of strong, healthy legs. The artificial colors, emulsifiers, and preservatives found in many mass-produced ice creams trigger low-grade inflammation in your body. This inflammation accumulates over time and can damage joint tissues and muscle fibers, resulting in pain, stiffness, and reduced range of motion. Furthermore, many store-bought ice creams lack any meaningful nutrition. They provide empty calories that don't support your muscles, joints, or bones. And if you're over 60, your body already requires more protein, vitamins, and minerals to maintain its structure and function. The result? A small treat becomes a barrier to healthy aging, silently contributing to the loss of mobility and independence. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy a frozen dessert. Just choose smarter options. Look for natural or homemade versions made with real fruit, unsweetened yogurt, or plant-based milk alternatives. Add toppings like nuts, seeds, or a drizzle of honey to boost flavor and nutrition. With just a few mindful swaps, you can still enjoy life's sweet moments without sacrificing your leg strength and overall wellness. 6. Milk chocolate. It may be the go-to treat for a midday pick-me-up or evening indulgence. But milk chocolate can be surprisingly harmful to your muscles and joints, especially after age 60. The problem lies in its ingredients: refined sugar, saturated fat, and minimal cocoa content. Most milk chocolates are more about sweetness and less about the healthful properties found in dark chocolate, such as flavonoids and antioxidants. The high sugar content causes the same blood sugar spikes we've already discussed, leading to energy crashes, inflammation, and impaired muscle performance. This is particularly for your legs, where strong, consistent energy supply is essential for walking, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. Saturated fats in milk chocolate contribute to bad cholesterol levels and poor circulation. Reduced blood flow means your leg muscles don't get enough oxygen and nutrients. The result? Tired legs, stiffness, and increased soreness after movement. Even more concerning, commercial milk chocolates often contain preservatives, emulsifiers, and artificial sweeteners that burden the liver and kidneys. These organs are responsible for filtering toxins and regulating nutrient absorption. When they're overloaded, your muscles suffer from nutrient deficiencies, especially in key areas like magnesium and potassium. The consequences? Fatigue, cramping, and a noticeable drop in leg endurance. Additionally, milk chocolate is often linked to central weight gain, particularly around the abdomen. This added weight throws off your center of gravity and adds extra pressure to your knees, hips, and ankles, leading to faster joint wear and less mobility. So what's the solution? If you love chocolate, switch to high cocoa dark chocolate 70 or more in small amounts. Dark chocolate provides circulatory support, muscle protective and can even help fight inflammation. When consumed in moderation, owning chocolate doesn't have to cost you your leg strength. It's all about what kind and how much you eat. 5. Canned foods. They are quick, convenient, and have a long shelf life, but canned foods may quietly contribute to the deterioration of your leg strength. Why? Because many canned products, especially soups, vegetables, meats, and sauces, contain very high levels of sodium, as well as preservatives, artificial colors, and chemical stabilizers. First, the sodium. High salt intake promotes fluid retention, leading to swollen, uncomfortable jizz, especially around the ankles and calves. This swelling reduces your range of motion and can make walking feel labored and tiring. Second, high sodium contributes to high blood pressure, which restricts blood flow to the lower body. Poor circulation means that leg muscles don't receive enough oxygen or nutrients, leading to chronic fatigue, slower healing, and greater risk of injury. Next, the preservatives like sodium benzoate, nitrites, and phosphates accumulate in your system and interfere with metabolic and muscular function. These compounds strain your liver and kidneys, which are already more vulnerable with age. When your detox systems are stressed, your legs often pay the price: slower muscle recovery, increased inflammation, and reduced endurance. Canned foods also often undergo heat treatments that destroy natural nutrients, leaving behind a product that may be low in vitamins and minerals, even though it fills your stomach. What remains are calories without nourishment, weakening your muscles meal by meal. Another hidden danger: some canned goods are stored in aluminum containers, which may leak small amounts of metal into the food over time. While the research is ongoing, there are concerns that regular exposure to these metals may harm neurological and muscular function, particularly in older adults. If you rely heavily on canned foods, whether it's beans, soups, meats, or even canned vegetables, it's time to reassess your diet. Choose fresh, frozen, or glass jar alternatives whenever possible, or make your own versions at home using whole ingredients. It may take a few extra minutes, but the long-term benefit to your muscles, circulation, and energy is well worth it. 4. Filled cookies and processed snacks. They are colorful, crunchy, and often marketed as convenient treats, but filled cookies and processed snack foods are among the most harmful items for your leg health, especially after 60. These snacks are packed with artificial preservatives, flavor enhancers, chemical dyes, and refined sugars, ingredients that not only add stress to your digestive system, but also contribute to chronic inflammation. One of the main enemies of muscle strength and joint function. One of the biggest offenders in these foods is trans fat, often listed as partially hydrogenated oil. Trans fats are known to clog arteries, raise bad cholesterol, and significantly reduce circulation. Poor circulation, as you now know, leads to weaker leg muscles, slower healing, and increased soreness after activity. On top of that, these snack foods are incredibly low in actual nutrition. They provide very little protein, no fiber, and almost zero essential minerals. For older adults whose bodies are already less efficient at absorbing nutrients, these snacks accelerate the loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia. Have you noticed your legs feeling swollen, crampy, or unusually tired after snacking? That's likely due to the high sodium content in these items, which causes fluid retention and adds extra pressure to your legs. This is especially dangerous if you have pre-existing conditions like high blood pressure, varicose veins, or arthritis. Additionally, the simple carbohydrates in processed snacks are rapidly digested. spiking your blood sugar and then dropping it sharply, leaving your muscles without a steady energy source. This promotes fatigue, unsteady walking, and even balance issues. And let's not overlook their addictive nature. The combination of sugar, fat, and salt activates the reward system in your brain, making you crave more. This creates a cycle of overeating and undernourishment, a combination that erodes your strength meal by meal. To break the cycle, switch to whole food snacks. Think raw nuts, fruit slices, homemade protein balls, or whole grain crackers with hummus. These options provide steady energy, muscle-building nutrients, and help you avoid the chemical assault of ultra-processed snack foods. 3. Packaged seasonings and flavor enhancers. You might not eat them directly, but packaged seasonings, bouillon cubes, instant soup packets, and flavored noodle powders are packed with monosodium glutamate and other chemical additives that can seriously compromise your muscle and joint health. MSG is used to enhance the flavor of savory foods. However, for many people, especially those over 60, it can overstimulate certain neurotransmitters in the brain and disrupt the way muscles contract and relax. When consumed regularly, MSG can cause symptoms such as muscle aches, leg cramps, tingling, and even tremors, particularly in the lower limbs. If you've noticed your legs feeling shaky or heavy after eating highly seasoned foods, MSG might be the reason. What makes MSG especially dangerous for aging adults is its connection to excitotoxicity, a process in which brain cells are overstimulated to the point of damage. This affects the nervous system's control over muscles, leading to diminished leg coordination, weakness, and balance problems. MSG also contributes to chronic inflammation, which impacts not only your joints but your blood vessels as well. Inflammation can restrict blood flow, reduce oxygen delivery, and make your muscles more susceptible to fatigue and injury. Even more troubling is that MSG is often hidden under different names on labels. Look out for ingredients like hydrolyzed protein yeast extract, sodium caseinate, natural flavoring, autolyzed yeast. These may sound innocent, but they often serve as code words for MSG or similar additives. So what can you do? Start seasoning your food with real herbs and spices like garlic, turmeric, rosemary, thyme, lemon juice, and olive oil. These natural flavors not only taste amazing, but also provide anti-inflammatory and muscle protective benefits. Now that we've covered the 15 worst food offenders for your legs, it's time for the most important part of this video: the 2 vitamins that you may be taking right now that could actually be weakening your legs. These vitamins, when consumed in excess or without propurgitants, can lead to muscle pain, cramping, and even bone loss. Let's begin with the first one. 2. Excess vitamin A. Vitamin A is an essential nutrient that supports eye health, skin repair, and immune function, but after age 60, taking too much, especially through supplements, can do more harm than good. 2. Much vitamin A can result in a condition called hypervitaminosis A, where the vitamin builds up in the body and causes muscle pain, joint stiffness, and fatigue, particularly in the legs and lower back. In older adults, the liver becomes less efficient at breaking down and clearing out excess vitamin A, which increases the risk of toxicity. When this happens, you may begin experiencing aching legs, trouble walking, or difficulty rising from a chair or climbing stairs. Excess vitamin A also interferes with the absorption of key minerals like calcium and magnesium, both critical for healthy muscle contraction and bone strength. Without these minerals, your leg muscles become more vulnerable to cramps, twitches, and loss of stability. Over time, too much vitamin A can also lead to bone demineralization, particularly in the hips and legs. This increases the risk of fractures, osteoporosis, and chronic mobility issues. Where does this excess come from? Often from supplements, multivitamins, or fortified foods like cereals, dairy products, and juices. Many people take vitamin A assuming it's universalgod, but few realize that too much can create a cascade of muscular and skeletal problems. The solution? Only take vitamin A supplements under medical supervision, and be aware of how much you're consuming from both diet and multivitamins. Foods rich in beta-carotene like carrots, pumpkin, and sweet potatoes are a safer way to meet your needs because your body only converts what it requires into active vitamin A1. Excess vitamin D is often praised as the sunshine vitamin for its role in supporting bone density, immune function, and calcium absorption. But here's what many people don't realize. Too much vitamin D, especially from supplements, can have serious consequences for your leg strength and overall mobility after age 60. This condition, known as hypervitaminosis D, happens when the body stores more vitamin D than it can safely use. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that are flushed out if consumed in excess, vitamin D is fat-soluble. This means it gets stored in body fat and tissues, potentially reaching toxic levels over time. The most immediate effect of vitamin D overload is hypercalcemia, a condition where there's too much calcium in your blood. While that might sound like a bone-building bonus, it's actually harmful. Elevated calcium levels can lead to muscle pain, joint stiffness, burning sensations, cramping in the calves, thighs, and feet. These symptoms often present in the legs, as they carry the body's weight and are particularly sensitive to imbalances in calcium and mineral levels. You might feel like your legs are sluggish, weak, or more prone to sudden spasms even during light activities. And over time, this weakness can undermine your balance, increase your fall risk, and make you more dependent on others. Excess vitamin D can also cause calcification of soft tissues, including muscles, tendons, and ligaments, especially around the knees and hips. This calcification reduces flexibility, causes discomfort with movement, and can severely limit your ability to walk or stand without pain. Another lesser-known risk is kidney damage. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering excess minerals and maintaining fluid balance. Large doses of vitamin D over time can overload the kidneys, causing them to work harder than they should. This may lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, poor muscle recovery, swelling, or heaviness in the legs. These combined effects form a feedback loop. More vitamin D increases calcium, which overburdens the kidneys, leading to fluid retention, muscle dysfunction, and more leg discomfort. Unfortunately, many people over 60 take high-dose vitamin D supplements without proper testing. They believe more is better, especially for avoiding osteoporosis, but this belief can backfire without blood work and medical oversight. The ideal way to manage vitamin D levels is to get a simple blood test to measure your current level. Supplement only if your doctor recommends it. Get natural sunlight exposure in moderate amounts 10-20 minutes a day. Rely on food sources like salmon, sardines, eggs, and fortified plant-based milks to maintain a safe baseline. Remember, balance is key. Too little vitamin D can weaken bones, but too much can sabotage your legs and kidneys. Always aim for optimal levels, not maximum ones. Final thoughts. Reclaiming your leg strength after 60. If you've been feeling like your legs aren't what they used to be, heavier, more tired, or slower to recover, this video wasn't meant to scare you. It was meant to wake you up. You now know the truth. It's not just aging that makes your legs weak. It's also the foods you eat and the vitamins you take without thinking twice. To recap, here's what to watch out for. Worst foods for your legs. 1. Sugary desserts. 2. Fried foods. 3. White bread. 4. Alcohol. 5. Processed meat. 6. Instant noodles. 7. Commercial cakes. 8. Processed cheeses. 9. Industrial ice cream. 10. Milk chocolate. 11. Canned foods. 12. Packaged snacks. 13. Misc-laden seasonings. To most harmful, vitamins in excess. Vitamin A can cause muscle pain, bone weakening, and nutrient imbalances. Vitamin D may trigger calcium overload, muscle stiffness, kidney strain, and soft tissue calcification. What you can do starting today. 1. Avoid ultra-processed foods that cause inflammation, water retention, and nutrient depletion. 2. Switch to fresh, whole foods that are rich in protein, fiber, healthy fats, and essential minerals. 3. Read supplement labels carefully. Don't take multivitamins without knowing what's inside and how much. 4. Work with your doctor to monitor your vitamin levels, especially vitamin D. 5. Stay active, even in small ways, to promote blood flow, muscle maintenance, and stability. Your legs are your foundation. They support your independence, balance, and freedom to move through life on your terms. You don't need to lose that strength. You can rebuild it starting with awareness, smarter choices, and consistency. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Senior Spark channel for more life-saving content. We're here to help you age with strength, dignity, and vitality. And don't go just yet. The video now playing on your screen shows 3 essential vitamins a diabetic must take. Tap now to learn what your doctor might not be telling you. Until next time, stay strong and stay well.